Yeah, obviously we knew coming in when you play a MAC school and their caliber and in this setting, you can't do the things we did right off the bat, turn the ball over and have key penalties and drives early on. And we're never really able to seize any momentum away from them. They probably surprised us a little bit, I think, with their overall speed and athleticism. I think they tape didn't do them justice. Thought we were going to be okay as far as matching up with them in that aspect, but they proved to be really good route runners. And we had some coverage errors and just some mental mistakes that we really haven't made all year long. I think the guys would agree. And I think their ability to take away our ability to kind of control and possess the ball. They possessed the ball. I don't know what time of possession was, but I'm sure they had a pretty big advantage. It felt like they had it for a long chunk of time in the second and third quarter. But in the end, I was really proud of the way these guys played. I was an assistant when we were down big at halftime, and I've seen teams sort of collapse and let them run away with it. And we didn't do that, and I thought we played, with a lot of pride and represent ourselves well in the second half. That's what we told them we wanted to do.
Coach, they play in the MAC, obviously. You know how this is the sort of history of that league. How much did that really help them prepare for a game like this?
Oh, I'm sure it did. I tried to beef ours up a little bit. I had some teams from out of state, Larry Catholic, which we lost. We tried to, do that. We had a couple openings in our league, and I think the thing that the MAC teams do well, they're just so cool and composed. I think they're a very composed team. They don't make mistakes. They seem to play very machine-like. And any little ball that bounced, like one in the third quarter, bounced right back to them. We just couldn't catch any breaks. Sometimes you got to have breaks in games. Some of the balls that we tipped around and stuff, we couldn't intercept. But I'm sure they know when they come into the playoffs at 8-2, they're battle tested. But coming from our side of the state, there's not much you can do. We felt like we played some quality programs along the way, like Norwalk, St. Paul, and of course last week Danville. They were very good this year. But obviously their physicality, they're used to physical play, probably a little bit more week to week. But not much we can do about it. Just that's probably to their advantage at some point.
Coach, you did such a good job last week against Danville's quarterback as the big passer. Well, why did this guy cause you so much trouble tonight?
He got rid of it real quick. I thought they threw quick, and I think they protected him better. We were able to, and the thing is, schematically, they had a big time threat in the backfield tonight with him, where Danville was more 5 wide, and once we took away the running game, then we could really focus on just the pass. Where tonight you had that constant threat of the run, even though early on they didn't hit it much and some screens and things. And, it was definitely different. They probably protected him a little bit better than Danville was able to, just because of their physicality.
It's an incredibly storied program in Mogadore, but one that hasn't been to the finals in a while. You got back to the finals. What's the legacy you guys are leaving, and how much can Mogadore, take that next step and go from that regional final team to maybe a state final team year in and year out?
Well, for all the young guys that we have, like Austin Williams, he's defensive player of the year. He knows how to control the game now. He knows what it's like. He'll bring the guys back, and they know what it's like to get here. They know what it takes. It's a long workout process. It starts all the way back in July. It's a lot of hard work, a lot of hard effort. It's just this will definitely help them to get past the regional title that we got stuck at a couple years in a row. This should help them. They know what it's like now.
Coach, obviously going now 14-0 inside of about 6 minutes or so, how much did it really affect the game plan you guys going in? Because I'm sure obviously no one prepares going down 2 scores.
I thought we composed ourselves at that point well. Got a good drive going, cut it to 14-7, and then when we had them in 3rd and 5, we had a huge coverage error, and they had that long touchdown, and that really, I think, was the start of kind of being the backbreaker. Had we maybe held there at 3rd and 5 and get the momentum back, high school kids, momentum's big, any level, momentum's big. We just never seized that momentum back away from them, and they scored there, and then I think they 3-outed us maybe, and it got another score. So it just was a little bit of a mini snowball right in there. They had those 2 big bursts, but I thought that was really a key point of the game. We had them 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6. They scored like a 50 or 60-yard touchdown. I thought that was really the big game changer, because I thought maybe we were kind of settling in a little bit.
Coach, how hard were those curl routes and some of those timing routes that they ran to stop?
You could second guess yourself. Maybe we should have played up, then they may have run past us. you're trying to mix that up so you don't give it away. I mean, you know, anytime you have that many athletes that can catch a football, and he was on the money today. You know, we had some film where we knew he was good, but he was probably even a little bit better than he's been in some of the playoff games.
Setting for the offense and for you specifically, what did you think were the biggest challenges you faced against that full cover defense?
Well, they were pretty good covering. We like to run a couple like checkbacks whenever it's 3rd and 7, 3rd and 6. Whenever we convert those, we've converted them all year. A couple plays, about 9 back to 8 check-ins to number 9 marker, and I mean they had those pretty well covered. We tried to hit a couple quick outs, and right whenever our receivers caught the ball, they just be there to tackle, and we'd only get about 4 yards, and we couldn't convert those 3rd downs.
For you guys, a couple of you guys obviously come up a little bit short, but you get to go down here to Columbus. So what was it like to play in this environment and be at the shoe as high school kids for any of you guys? What was it like?
I mean, it's a dream come true to get here, but we wanted to win, and that's a letdown. That kind of, right now, is diminishing it for us, but I think a little later on, when we look back on it, I think we'll be able to take one good from it.
Coach, overall, you guys have played physical every game, and once again today, you were described as a really physical team. So I guess, how pleased are you with the effort that these kids have given week in and week out for you for 15 weeks?
They've been great, you know, and I know before recovery lost a good player a couple weeks ago, and as we did, and you know, covering us, Nate Alexander, you know, not that he would have made a difference of 19 points, but he definitely would have helped. He was definitely a guy that we had on the flats to cover a lot of the bubble screen and bubble action. Anytime you take a 6'2", 210 kid off the field, who was our second leading rusher, and I thought we did a great job the last 2 weeks overcoming that. I think for recovery, he was able to, you know, pick on some spots where he would have normally been in, which did help. I mean, it wasn't the difference in the game, but and that speaks to how lucky you got to be to make it these 15 weeks. I mean, these are kids, and you know, it's actually 17 weeks when you factor in the scrimmages. You're going to be incredibly lucky, healthy, especially at small schools where you lose one guy. Sometimes he's 2, sometimes he's 5. He plays on special teams, and you know, to their credit, they looked, you know, strong and fresh, and you know, I didn't think it was one where they completely out physical us. I've been a coach where we came to one of these and we felt like we were completely out physical across the board. I just think that maybe they were, you know, just a hair better at a lot of key spots, you know, a little bit faster, a little bit stronger, and you know, to their credit, I think they would, even their coach would agree, they've really improved too. But I'm real proud of these guys after we lost week 3. We really rebounded nice and had a nice stretch run in the middle of our season, and it's a grind. It's a good grind, but it's hard to manage, you know, when you're way through these playoffs.
Coach, I imagine you tried to wanted to score right before the half, and they had that 4th and 9 that's supposed to be a punt that turned into a first down. Can you go through what was going through your mind at the time?
On their fake?
I don't know. It turns out it wasn't a fake. I think he just ended up running.
Oh, yeah. You know, that was like I speak to, that was all sort of that part of the game where I thought maybe we were back in it at 14-7, and they just had that 6 or 7 minute stretch where they really, it seemed like they had the ball the whole time, and then they came out and didn't score in the second half. It was a long period of time where we didn't have the ball much, but those were sort of the back-breaking moments, I think, right in there when they jumped to 20-7 on that long 3rd down pass, and then they got the ball back and scored. And I was proud that we held them out before half, because I think it could have really turned ugly had we let them get in before half. But these guys did a good job of holding them out.
Coach,
You know, being an assistant in 2001, where we were down pretty big at halftime, and the game didn't turn out real well. You know, I just told them that, you know, we only had they have a half of football left to play, most of them, unless some of them are lucky to go play next year somewhere, especially the seniors. When they're a senior-laden team, I told them, you know, how do you want to be remembered in this second half? First half didn't go so well. We're going to have to fight like heck to get back in this. We need to stop, as we got, you know, but, you know, they said, look, you want to be remembered, but, you know, having some pride, you know, which they did, and I was very proud of them. They didn't stop fighting. We kept playing hard to the end, and that's what I told them. That's how you want to be remembered. You don't want to be remembered by a team that lays down, gets silly, stupid penalties, acts up on the field. We didn't do that, and I was extremely proud of them for that. Because, you know, it's easy to be the winners, and I've been lucky enough to be on the staff to be on the other side of what happened tonight, but it's even harder to be the losers and be good losers and conduct yourself when you're emotional, and it's tough, you know. But I was really proud of these guys. They exhibited good senior leadership out there tonight. far as that goes.
Coach?
From your point of view, what does it say about Coach DeCamp and his staff that they took his team that, in his words, was a doormat and a MAC to first state playoff appearance ever last year and now state champion in that short amount of time?
Oh yeah, hats off to them. I mean, that, I guess they realize you're either gonna fight like heck out there in that league, or you're gonna be the doormat. And these you got to give credit for their kids and their coaching staff to have built that belief into them. I think they made a state baseball run last year too in the Final Four, so they're obviously a pretty good set of athletes. And I was telling a guy before the game, before I even really saw them live, I said they're going to be a handful next year. They only had 6 seniors that were playing today, so they have a good thing going out there, and we congratulate them. They have a challenge every week, and they managed their season and got there, and they did something that's impressive. They beat a team that beat them in regular season, which I think is when they started to feel like they were getting momentum, in their playoff run.
Coach, I know on Monday you mentioned in the teleconference something to the effect of, if your program is mentioned as having broken a 13-year drought of not appearing in games, I think I probably had, that it means something's good with your program, that obviously going 13 years and all that stuff, but getting back here, what do you think it says to the younger guys, the sophomores and the juniors on the team that know that this is possible and that they've been through the journey to get ready for next season?
I mean, it speaks to the commitment that you have to put in, and the leadership these guys showed this year, and the way they managed every week. We didn't have any letdowns, and we got to a part of our schedule where we knew we were going to probably be able to. We were heavily favored. We didn't have any letdowns at the end of the year. These guys managed to stay focused throughout that part, and they got over the hump for us. For me personally, as a head coach, and for some of them, to be able to go over that semifinal hump was big for these guys. The finals weekend's cool. There's only 7 teams going. When they draw and everybody gets 200 some teams or whatever making playoffs, only 7 are going to end the season happy. There's some teams and coaches that get to win their week 10, they don't get in, and they kind of go, oh, at least we get to end on a win, And unfortunately, the playoffs are cruel, and only 7 teams are going to end up really happy. But we're really proud of these guys, and I think for the young kids, it shows possible. And I say, hey, this just shows the young guys to beat these guys out west. You got to get bigger, you got to get faster. You may not be able to get bigger, that's probably not the right word. You got to get faster, you got to get stronger, and try to match them.
Coach, the spread offense, that kind of spread offense isn't particularly common in the PTC. I mean, how much of that kind of offense did your team get to see throughout the year?
Crestwood, who went to the regional final in Division IV, ran a version of the spread offense. They're a little bit more like Danville with the jet stuff and more lateral. Like I said, the difference is that pistol look is they were able to, at any moment, run the football. And 24 did a nice job for them hitting up in there. And we thought we contained them pretty well overall. It was one of those where we were saying at halftime as coaches, our run defense, I think they respected so much, they came out with a passing game that was lethal, and it might have been a little bit better if we weren't so good against the run. It kind of was like our undoing was the fact that we played run D so well this year that then they ended up taking advantage of us. There might have been okay if they'd have got 3 or 4 here or there, maybe stuck to the run, and they just, I think it was pretty evident, obvious they were going to come out and just throw the football tonight, and to their credit, they executed their game plan.